Have you ever opened your bank account and thought, where did all my money go? If so, you're definitely not alone. Every day, millions of people fall into small spending traps that slowly drain their wealth without them even realizing it. The good news? With mindful spending, you can save thousands each year through simple, conscious decisions. In this video, we're diving into mindful spending, what it means, why it matters, and, most importantly, how you can use it to avoid common financial pitfalls. Whether you're dealing with impulse buys or feeling the pressure to keep up with your social circle's spending, this guide will give you practical tools to transform your relationship with money. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how to make spending decisions that support your financial goals and, more importantly, how to apply these strategies every day. Let's work together to take control of your financial future, one mindful decision at a time. So, what exactly is mindless spending? It's when we make purchases without truly thinking about them. Maybe it's that coffee you grab on your way to work, or a late-night online shopping spree during a moment of boredom. Take Sarah's story, for example. Like many of us, she had a daily coffee habit. Now, $5 here and there doesn't seem like much, right? But when Sarah tracked her spending, she was shocked to find her coffee habit was costing her around $2,000 a year. That's money she could have put toward her dream vacation or her emergency fund. And it's not just coffee. In today's digital world, mindless spending is easier than ever. With one-click purchases, targeted ads, and digital wallets, spending is almost too convenient. Your phone knows your habits, social media algorithms understand your desires, and retailers have mastered the art of making you click buy. The psychology behind impulse buys is fascinating. Every time we buy something new, our brain releases dopamine, the feel-good hormone. This can create a cycle: feeling down, buy something, feeling stressed, add to cart, bored, time for retail therapy. Before you know it, these small decisions add up to habits that can seriously impact your financial goals. By recognizing these patterns, you're already on your way to mindful spending. Next, we'll dive into the most common financial pitfalls and introduce the mindful spending framework that can help you avoid these traps for good. But here's the real bonus. If you stay until the end, I'll share a unique strategy that helped John save over $10,000 in just 1 year without feeling deprived or making drastic cuts. This technique alone could change the way you spend and save. So stick around, you won't want to miss it. Now that we understand mindless spending, let's look at 6 common financial pitfalls that can derail even the most carefully planned budget. Knowing these traps is the first step to avoiding them. First up, emotional spending. This is when we buy things to boost our mood or celebrate, maybe after a tough day or for a quick pick-me-up. Studies show that 49% of Americans admit to emotional spending, with the average person spending over $1,100 a year on mood-boosting purchases alone. Next is lifestyle inflation, the silent killer of wealth. It happens when we upgrade our spending whenever we get a raise. Suddenly, a basic phone plan becomes unlimited, or a modest apartment needs an upgrade. While some lifestyle improvements are natural, if left unchecked, lifestyle inflation can keep you in the same financial position, just with more expensive habits. Then there's social pressure, also known as keeping up with the Joneses. From the latest tech gadgets to luxury brands, the pressure to match your peers' spending can be intense. And remember, what you see on social media often isn't real wealth. It's often funded by debt. The sale-saving trap is another sneaky one. A 50% off deal might feel like you're saving, but if you weren't planning to buy it in the first place, you're not saving, you're spending. Retailers know this and use phrases like limited time offer or don't miss out to get us to buy impulsively. Then there's the subscription trap. Those small monthly fees add up fast. Most people underestimate their subscription spending by around $130 a month. Netflix, Spotify, gym memberships, and subscription boxes all add up to hundreds monthly for services we barely use. Finally, there's FOMO spending, the fear of missing out. Whether it's a group vacation or the latest trending product, FOMO can push us to make financial decisions we later regret. Now that we know the pitfalls, let's dive into the mindful spending framework. 4 powerful strategies that can completely change how you make purchasing decisions. First, there's the 24-hour rule. It's simple but incredibly effective. Before making any non-essential purchase over $50, wait 24 hours. This cooling-off period allows your rational mind to overcome emotional impulses. You'll be amazed how many must-have items lose their appeal after a good night's sleep. Next is the want versus need assessment. Before you buy, ask yourself, do I really need this, or do I just want it? Will this item still be valuable to me in 6 months? Does this purchase align with my financial goals? The third strategy is value-based spending. This isn't about denying yourself, it's about spending on what truly matters. If family experiences are your priority, maybe spending less on designer clothes leaves more room for memorable vacations. Align your money with your values. Finally, there's cost per use. Take the item's total cost and divide it by how many times you'll realistically use it. A $100 jacket worn 100 times costs $1 per wear. Far better value than a $20 shirt you'll wear twice. This simple math helps you make more objective purchasing decisions. These tools don't restrict your spending, they just help you spend smarter. Next, we'll look at practical ways to make these strategies part of your daily life. Let's turn knowledge into action and put mindful spending to work. Understanding mindful spending is one thing, but putting it into action daily is where the real transformation happens. So, let's look at 5 practical strategies to help you implement mindful spending. First, let's talk about creating a spending diary. This isn't just about tracking numbers, it's about understanding why you spend. Every time you make a purchase, jot down not only what you bought, but also how you felt before and after. Were you bored, stressed, or feeling accomplished? This practice reveals your spending triggers and helps you make intentional choices. Studies show that this awareness alone can reduce impulse spending by up to 25%. Next, let's set up spending alerts. Your smartphone can be your biggest ally in mindful spending. Set up automatic notifications for any purchase over a set amount. These digital nudges act as pattern interrupts, making you pause and consider each purchase before moving forward. It's a small step with big impact. For those looking for an old-school approach, the cash envelope method is highly effective, especially for discretionary spending. Each month, allocate cash for categories like dining out or entertainment. Physically seeing the cash decrease helps you make more conscious decisions. Research shows that people spend between 12 to 18% less when using cash instead of cards, simply because they feel the loss more acutely. Next is a powerful technique called money-free days. Choose one day a week where you commit to spending nothing. This practice helps break the habit of casual spending and gives you insight into what triggers your spending urges. It can be challenging at first, but it's incredibly revealing and effective. All right, if you've made it this far, you're about to hear the technique we promised at the start. This simple approach helped John save over $10,000 in just 1 year, without making any extreme changes. Let's dive into how he did it. John started by tracking his spending with a diary, where he noticed over $300 a month going toward impulse buys. By sticking to the 4-hour rule and committing to money-free days each week, he managed to save over $10,000 in a single year. And here's the best part. He used that money as a down payment on his first home. John didn't feel restricted because he was spending mindfully, not making drastic cuts. These strategies make mindful spending a daily habit. They're not about cutting out everything. They're about shifting how you spend, so you're only buying things that add real value to your life. In the final section, we'll look at how to build lasting habits that support your mindful spending journey and set you up for long-term success. Let's get into it. Now that you've got the tools, let's talk about turning mindful spending into a lasting habit. Remember, changing spending behavior is about progress, not perfection. Small, consistent actions add up over time. Start by setting aside just 15 minutes each week for a spending review. Use this time to look over your transactions, celebrate the wins, and spot any areas where you can improve. This routine alone has helped countless people stay focused on their financial goals and avoid slipping back into old habits. Accountability can also be a powerful motivator. Whether it's a friend, a family member, or even an online group, having someone to check in with can triple your chances of success. Choose someone who shares your commitment to mindful spending and can encourage you when it gets tough. Here's another practical tip. Streamline your technology. Unsubscribe from marketing emails and turn off notifications for shopping apps. Instead, let your phone work for you by setting reminders and tracking your financial goals. Apps can even send notifications when you've made a mindful choice, keeping you on track and in control. And here's a bonus tip. Celebrate each small win. It could be as simple as resisting an impulse buy or sticking to your money-free day. Recognizing these little victories keeps you motivated. Just remember, celebrate in ways that don't involve spending. So let's quickly recap what we've covered today. First, we looked at common mindless spending triggers. Then, we broke down 6 financial pitfalls to watch out for. Next, you learned about the 4-part mindful spending framework. And finally, we went through 5 practical ways to start implementing these habits in your life. Each of these steps moves you closer to financial freedom. The journey to mindful spending starts with one decision. Pick a strategy we discussed today and commit to it. Maybe it's the 24-hour rule, or maybe it's keeping a spending diary. Whichever you choose, take that first step now. So what was your biggest takeaway? Drop it in the comments below. Your insight might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips on mastering your money. Remember, financial freedom isn't about having unlimited money. It's about having complete control over how you spend it. Start your journey to mindful spending today and watch how it transforms your financial future.